Wij gaan even terug naar de Axel in Cassidy's Hold. Want daar hebben we ook nog wel wat bij te praten. Daar hebben we ook nog wel wat bij te praten.
You are hardly in any position to make lofty demands. The council convened and unanimously stripped you of your role. You no longer hold the privileges of the Eye.
And how quickly did you convene that council? You hardly waited for my daughter's body to cool.
She is dead because of you. Because of your reckless behavior and deception, no less.
Harun, how dare you? Every decision I've made, every action I've taken has been for her protection.
Abandoning her at the Grand Gate was for her protection. We all saw you on the scry. And that is Khan Arteme to you, Kenrick.
Is this a bad time?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
No. You're more than welcome at Cassidy's Hold. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
I came to offer my condolences. To both of you.
Oh. Thank you.
Ja.
Intellect can be taught, and creativity can be cultivated. But the kindness Isla embodied is rare. She helped our quartermaster through her darkest hour. I'll always be grateful for that.
She was exceptional.
Precies.
It's hard to imagine the Enclave will ever recover from this loss.
Then why are you so opposed to giving her the funeral she deserves?
With the Surgeborn swarming Denevron, we can't risk a trip to the Hallowpire Rise.
For generations, every Stanild has received the right of ashes upon death. Isla will not be the exception to this.
Could I perform the rite on your behalf?
You? Don't tell me you're a Hallowpire priestess on top of being a righteous pain in my ass.
Skies, do you want a funeral or not? She's our best option.
Isla saved my life. I want to help you honor her death.
I suppose you do owe her that. Fine. For the rite of ashes, you need to burn an object that was sacred to the deceased upon the high pyre. As you collect the ashes, you must read a rite aloud to thank the flames for bringing the deceased to rest.
Do you have an object that was sacred to Isla?
Isla's most prized possessions aren't in Cassidy's Hold. She had a secret refuge in Dredger's Mire. You're sure to find something. She was always sneaking away at night to work there.
You knew she was sneaking out of Cassidy's Hold.
I knew my daughter better than she realized. Return to me with the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn.
Dan moeten we toch nog wat doen. Retrieve the Spindle's personal effects from her secret refuge near Poldevale. Gaan we doen. In Dredger's Mire. Vanuit Sapper's Lake. Zijn al die demonen er nu ook nog steeds? Of hebben we die nu voorgoed verslagen? Deze kant op. Nou, het is geen demon. Maar wel een irritant beest. Ja, Kala's denken dat ze stoer zijn. Even kijken, hij stuurt mij hier door die berg heen.
That might be Isla's secret refuge. It's actually not too far from Lucia's workshop.
Ja, mag ik even jullie aanpakken? That might be the secret refuge. Oh, hier die grot. Oh, er is hier een grot. Die hele grot niet gezien.
Isla dedicated her life to restoring the arcs.
In combat.
Dark. We will need to continue. What might she consider sacred for the right?
In combat. Ligt hier genoeg.
The axle. I should take it back to her.
Burn the spindle's toy arc
That's sweet.
on the altar in Upper
Do you
the
think this could
Nevron.
work for the rite of ashes?
It's perfect.
Isla also had a copy of On the Workings of Archons, marked with annotations, just like Lucia's.
Could be useful.
Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a...
Upper the Nevron. En dan moet ik naar Hello Pyre Rise. Kan ik het beste gaan vanuit de Guild District. Deze kant op. Maar niet deze kant op. Vijanden, demonen, alles is er nog. Alles is er nog. Ik probeer die vijanden een beetje te skippen, want daar heb ik toch niks meer aan. Nee, op donderen. Shield, wegwezen. Ik wil gewoon mijn missie uitvoeren, ja. Hij sneuvelt.
Sad to burn such a sweet toy.
Afbranden. Filmpje.
Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful.
Dus weer interference.
There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out.
Ja.
Dom, Aurea,
Can you hear me now?
you're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scry.
Ja, er klopt iets niet hier.
Just afoot.
Er klopt iets niet met de scry. Ik moet naar Castle's Hold, maar dat moet via onze eigen basis. Ken Rick. Ik heb de ashes voor jou.
I performed the rite, and I brought you the ashes.
Thank you, Bryn. Isla admired you. She would be honored that you did this for her.
It's not how she would have wanted things. I should have been there.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the Eye. And this disrespectful conduct ends now. You owe Bryn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. And probably a great deal more than that. Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but she saved us all from certain death at the Grand Gate too.
Precies.
None of which she would ever have had to do if it weren't for your...
For my actions! I know! I know! It's all my fault. I should have been there. Not at the temple. At the Grand Gate. I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there. Never forget it. I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported her work. I should never have lied to her. My regrets will drown me.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief, or learn to swim in it. It is unfair that you lost a child, no matter the circumstances. I am so sorry that happened to you. But now you have a choice. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or you can dedicate every breath you have left to her.
How?
Just do one small thing a day that would make her proud to call you her father. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported in her life.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. If you'll excuse me. But there is one thing. The Ark in your camp. The one she wanted to restore. It's called the Ark of Verdance. An enchantress named Lucia de Crassus built it.
Lucia.
Consider it a thank you for what you've done.
En dan gaat hij ons toch helpen. Consult with the Axel. Is she okay?
You deserved better from him. But that was probably all he's capable of. Come to think of it, we all deserved better from him.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs.
Ja.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. The Enclave's legacy. Innovation and ambition. We can't let her death be in vain. Her work must be finished.
I wish I could help, but arcs were Isla's expertise, not mine. Still, I agree. That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles, where Surgeborn go to regenerate. If you're going to try to fix it, consider me heavily invested in your progress.
It's too great an advantage to ignore. I'll keep you updated.
Consult with Dam about the spindle's notes. Zo blijven we een beetje heen en weer lopen. Er valt hier weer een hoop op een rijtje te zetten.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expeditions is concerning. Any idea what's going on with the scry?
Not yet. The interference is certainly strange, but I'll need more time to analyze it before drawing any conclusions.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in the meantime.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, writing is far more legible than Lucia's. And her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the Ark we followed through the Veil. She built it. The Ark of Verdance.
That is quite the revelation. What was it for?
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Or wanted to tell me. But Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the source.
Yeah.
Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without realizing it?
Yes! That could be it. Genius, Bryn. On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore our Ark for us. She was so close to a schematic, intricate, elaborate, masterful. And I finished it. Solar has the final design ready for you. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part.
Ah, dan moeten we weer wat werk doen.
This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a Weaver channeling magic into it.
If we had built a power core earlier, could her death have been prevented?
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life, researching all the Ark parts we had supplied her. Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power an Ark for brief amounts of time could result in death.
So she knew she was going to die at the Grand Gate?
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway.
Ja.
That's courage.
We can't let it be in vain. So, then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can I find the shaped coral?
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural coral deposits for its regenerative properties.
Search for the bar of shaped coral in the arcane forge. Okay. The arcane forge. In the Archon's heart. De arcane foundry is het dan, denk ik. Dat is van de arcane forge.
The Archon's hearth once more. Wish Isla was here to guide me.
I could assist in her absence.
De Surgeborn praat bij mij.
What the?
Bryn, what?
Aurea, the scry has been compromised by the Surgeborn. Stay off it.
Compromised is such a strong word. I just wanted to know.
De hele boel staat in de fik hier.
So, what are we looking for in the Archon's heart? I know the underworks well. It is my region, after them.
Like I would tell you.
Whatever plan you've concocted, it would be better if we work together.
You murdered my friend.
Technically, I didn't touch her. It was my fault she lacked the stamina to follow through on what she started.
De hele fort staat hier in de fik. Dit is ook waar ik moet
There's
zijn.
a lot of coral here. I must be getting close to where the Enclave stored shaped bars. Will the Surgeborn be on plan when I pick it up?
In combat.
I guess that's a risk I need to take.
Het hele ding staat in de fik. Nou ben ik niet meer in combat.
Bar-shaped coral. You and I have such similar taste in treasure.
Have Solar craft the power core for the Ark.
Whatever you're planning to do with that is nothing put our minds together.
I can manage well enough on my own.
Wat is dat nu? Een draak? Waar moet ik heen? Nee, rechts. Oh, ja. Daar. Ik zie hem al. Het feit dat die Surgeborn nu tegen mij praat, dat is wel verontrustend.
The Surgeborn in the Howling Jail somehow has access to the scry.
Ja.
We know. I can feel it in there with me. It's not pleasant. We need to do something fast.
The good news is, as far as we can tell, it only has access when you're in the underworks. At most, it seems to cause interference when you're above ground. We don't think it can listen in.
Until we can block its presence, best to keep use of the scry to a minimum.
Ja.
Aurea, I could feel the Surgeborn too. I know exactly what you mean.
Doesn't feel great.
The kind of nausea that only comes from the wind being knocked out of you.
It takes a lot out of me to stay connected to you when it's present, let alone speak.
That must be why there's interference.
What you're both describing, it makes me wonder if the Eye was under a deeper influence from the Surgeborn than we realized.
How so?
We assumed he was merely manipulated into a foolhardy plan, but what if the Surgeborn had some sort of effect on his mind?
I could believe it. But if that's the case, then we need to limit Bryn's exposure to it through the scry. Fast.
And yours.
I don't think it's me the Surgeborn wants to influence. From the sounds of it, it wants you.
Ja.
Weavers need a physical connection to the scry to communicate, either by wearing the earpiece or touching the scroll. The Surgeborn doesn't have either, so how is it connecting to our scry?
Well, let's start with what we know. The imprisoned Talon was able to convince Stanild to open the gate. But the Herald was there and waiting. It was not surprised at all, despite the scout's distractions. Ergo, the Herald and Talon were communicating somehow, yet the Talon had been imprisoned for years. Would it not be reasonable to suggest the Surgeborn can communicate
Telepathy?
with one another using something like our scry? Or worse, perhaps they can share thoughts needing no magic at all.
A single shared consciousness.
The implications are frankly staggering, but it is the only explanation I can think of for what we've observed. And if I'm correct, it's not such a leap to imagine creatures like this, or perhaps a creature, would be capable of infiltrating our scry.
Nou, hoop ik toch niet.
Let's hear it. How bad is all this?
The scry is a complex piece of Weaver enchantment. That this Surgeborn has broken in is not good.
We still don't know exactly what it wants, but if it continues to infiltrate our constructs, this could mean an all-out war.
War?
Imagine they gain control of the Enclave's arcs. Sure, they're dangerous now, but with a sentient strategist behind them, they could storm the Maida in a couple of hundred strides.
You think the Surgeborn's interests expand beyond the Enclave?
With an enemy as calculated as this, best to assume the worst.
Ja. Lekker dan.
All right. How are we going to fix this?
The reason Aurea can sense the Surgeborn presence on the scry is likely because it's wielding magic to communicate. The same way Aurea's mantle pulls magic from the air to contact you. However, unlike Aurea, the Surgeborn can't pull magic from the air around it. Otherwise, it would be talking to you all the time.
But it can only reach me when I'm underground.
Where the tangles are most dense. We need to cut off its access to raw magic.
That's where the spindle comes in. Thanks to her, we finally have the missing piece to get our escort here running.
It was a failsafe in the case that the source needed to be repaired. The Ark of Verdance will create a safe bubble against the tangles, which would be the natural consequence of any failure of the source.
Just like it did with the veil.
Exactly. But without the crushing weight that caused it to fail.
So, the plan. We get the Ark to the source, it stabilizes the Enclave.
Or at the very least, starts the process.
If the Herald waiting down there doesn't destroy it first, I'll need to take it down. If this plan is going to work.
That sounds dangerous.
It might be a risk worth taking.
We have to. The Enclave is overflowing with raw magic, and this source is clearly the root of the problem. Too many tangles have led to the floods. They allow the Surgeborn to communicate and infect our enchantments. Without the source under control, we will never reclaim the Enclave.
Then that's our plan. We build a power core, then we speak to the Axle.
I'll join you at Cassidon's Hold.
Craft a power core. So.
And with this power core, we can fix our Ark of Verdance. I think this is what they call a full circle moment.
Huh. Lately, I feel like I've been running in circles.
Hey,
Kun je wel
I
zeggen.
know things look bleak, but this is a win. Don't let the Talon rob you of it. You're finishing her work, after all.
You're right.
I always am. Now, I think you've got a meeting with the Axle.
Ja, dat denk ik ook. Consult with the Axle. We kunnen ook nog met Lane praten. En interacten met die Ark. Lifting the shroud.
Have you ever felt like you couldn't trust the people around you?
A few times. But I try my hardest to rebuild that trust when it crumbles. Some people haven't shown they deserve that effort. So, they don't get it. Is there something that's putting you on edge?
It's Sev, and how he was collaborating with the Eye behind our backs.
Oh? I can understand, but you didn't exactly seem blown away by the revelation.
I didn't have time to process it. I have now, and the more I think about it, the more upset I feel. Logically, I understand the situation. I can trace the weave of circumstance that forced his hand and led to his deception. I know he had no choice, and I've even forgiven him. I said the words to his face, so why am I still so angry?
That's a tough one.
It reminded me again of Udea. Will the fear and the manipulation follow me forever? Will it taint everything? The secrets, the lies, the subterfuge. The Maida may seem a balmy paradise, but in reality, it is a toxic swamp. Every fiber of my being is screaming at the prospect of having my life ruined by this again.
All right. It's clear that sitting around base camp chewing on this isn't doing you any good. You need a distraction.
Possibly. What did you have in mind?
The Axle must be overwhelmed right now. Let's find something to help her with.
I'm amenable to this. Shall I let you ask her, or...?
Oh no. You're coming with me.
I suppose
Ja,
it
we moesten toch al naar de Axel.
And I'll meet you at Cassidon's Hold, then. See you soon.
Lifting the shroud, nieuwe quest. Nou, we gaan eerst naar de Axel om in memories af te maken, denk ik. Verder te doen in elk geval. De Axel. Ik heb ze allebei af te ronden nu hier. Of in elk geval allebei te bespreken.
Khan Arteme. My Weaver band has repaired the Ark we followed through the Veil and discovered its true purpose.
To nullify the tangles at the source so it can be repaired.
Its anti-magic properties are why we were able to follow it through the Veil in the first place.
I see.
If we could get it to the source, We believe it could stabilize the Enclave.
Except the Grand Gate was broken when the Ark pushed the Herald back through it.
Surely there must be another way to reach the source.
Now that it's repaired, couldn't this Ark be used to leave the Enclave the way you came?
In theory, sure.
What are you saying, Khan Arteme?
It's time for someone to protect my people. I need to use that Ark to get us all out of here.
You would leave with the Surgeborn running loose? Or worse, allow them to spread and wreak havoc across the Maida in your wake?
No one has succeeded in stopping them yet. We've been trapped inside the Enclave for decades. It's time to set ourselves free before the Surgeborn overtake Cassidon's hold and kill us all.
Zo.
In moments like these, we can't give in to our worst fears. That's what Kenrick did, and look where it got him.
We're only still here because the Spindle was brave. Honor that.
The Surgeborn has infiltrated our scry. It's learning how to use our enchantments against us. If we don't put a stop to this madness, how long until they overtake the Arks? Or bring down the Veil and spread across the Maida?
That is concerning. Still, let's be clear. Even if you could reach the source, there's a massive Surgeborn that almost killed you lurking down there.
Oh,
I'll be
inderdaad.
ready for the Herald this time.
And what are you going to do about all the tangles? Punch them before they disintegrate you?
Sev believes the Aeroliths can manipulate raw magic and are responsible for miasma. We think if we can control the Aeroliths, we can make the source safer.
Interesting. You've put more thought into this than I'd expected. But
Ja, wij
as
zijn
you
niet dom, hè?
said, you have no way to reach the source.
Fine. Our plan has a few kinks to iron out.
More than a few.
How about this? If you can just give us time to present you with the final plan, it'll be your call whether or not we move forward on it.
I suppose that's fair. I can't pack up this stronghold in a day.
One more thing. It's clear by now the Enclave hides its secrets well. If there's any information on the source, I need access to it.
There are private records that can only be accessed with the Eye's signet. I suppose he's not using it at the moment, but...
Bryn did just save your people from certain death not too long ago.
Fine, you can borrow it. You should find information at the Spire in Upper Denevron, the Bastion, and the Institute.
Kijk, we moeten weer
We'll
informatie
arrange a
gaan
meeting
zoeken.
with you when we're ready.
Good
Ja,
luck.
ja. We moeten weer informatie gaan zoeken. En dan ook dat hoort nog bij In Memories. Lifting the Shroud, die staat ook al hier binnen. Dat is een sidequest. In Memories is een lange quest. Bastion's Garrison Bunker. Nou, dit is letterlijk bij de fast travel, dat scheelt.
Last time we went looking for answers in the Bastion. Half the documents were torn to shreds. What else were they hiding
Letterlijk
behind
hiernaast.
the eyes?
Letterlijk naast mij. Ik pak zijn shield af. Die gooi ik in zijn bek. En ik maak hem kapot.
Looks like research that's been compiled on the ecological and geographic impact of the surge across the Enclave's landscape. There's an entire section on the widening of the Great Chasm.
De Spire in Upper Denevron. De Spire. Ook daar heb ik een fast travel. Op de plek zelf.
Council records are meant to be public. Wonder what else the Eye was hiding from his people.
Moeten we ook nog naar de Institute. Dat is de gevaarlijke plek. Ik kan gewoon zijn shield afpakken.
Records on the construction and maintenance of grand gates across the enclave.
En dan nog naar de Institute. In de Institute Circuit of Musing. Western Circuit of Musing. Ja, dus hier. En dan als ik de grot uitloop naar rechts.
See those massive pipes running along the roof? Norian design. I recognized them earlier, and they prompted my investigation into the Norians and the Enclave.
It's seen Western shows you as in that. That's the eyes. Did you know I can reveal the Enclave's secrets? Not that I needed it. Pry to the eyes' darker truths.
This should be the place, Bryn. You're looking for tablets with a circle marked by 6 dots. They'll look blank, but I'll be able to read them when you bring them back.
Why not bring them to me instead? Think of what we could do.
Pass.
Dan heb ik hier nu 2 quests tegelijk lopen dan.
Let me guess. You're trying to find another way to reach the source. I'm all for it. We'll be able to speak more easily then.
Ugh, I'm sick of your voice already.
Such impoliteness is unbecoming of you. Didn't your parents raise you to be a nice, respectful girl? I gathered from how the
Oh,
eyes
yes,
spoke of his own daughter that those are the core values he instills in their offspring.
Aanpakken die gasten.
The evidence from an expedition to the source shortly after the search. Enchanters suffered severe
Compile the source. Branding Glassdale. Nee,
were sworn to secrecy by the
ik wil nu gewoon terug, ja. Nee, die Branding Glassdale die denkt er anders over.
This must be the condensing chamber.
Oh, ik ben verkeerd gelopen. Andere kant op. Hier linksaf. Ik loop helemaal verkeerd. Een interessante route die hier ontstaat. Hier moet ik in. Ja, dan moet ik eigenlijk hier een beetje links, daar naar boven, ja. Hier naar boven klimmen. Zo. Dan moet ik hier die grot in. Ja, en nu is het hier links van mij. Ja. Compile the research with Lane. Compile the research with Lane. Codex compiling the source. There we go.
I hope you're not afraid of diving into bottomless pits.
Hardly. Maybe a little. Why?
Despite the Grand Gates no longer functioning, there is a more direct way to reach the source. By dropping straight down into a rift in Lower Denevron.
You know, last time I wanted to charge into a restricted area, you weren't so sure it was a great idea.
People change. Maybe I've learned a thing or two about calculated risk-taking from you. And the prospect of securing the source makes this a risk worth taking.
This is only one piece of the puzzle. The axle isn't going to budge until we figure out a way to lessen the tangles at the source.
With good reason. We don't want you to fry down there.
Find a way to lessen the dangers with Sev's help. Oh, dat is natuurlijk die andere quest. Of niet? Sev. Ja, dat is die andere quest, denk ik. Find a way to lessen the dangers at the source. Want weathering the storm, dat zijn de Norian documents. Dat heeft met Sev te maken, ja. Oké, dus dan hebben we in memories dan nu gehad. Dit grote stuk. En dan gaan we weathering the storm doen. In de volgende video. Dus graag tot dan. Joejoe.